Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the WLBT Plus Digital News Desk Update on your Wednesday. I'm CJ Lemaster, your host and your lead investigative reporter here for WLBT. Hope you're doing well so far. We've got several of you watching right now on our Facebook live stream and also, of course, on our OTT platforms. So we got a lot we want to get to today. But first, we want to tell you about a story we've been following since announcements were made for the city of Jackson to start its search for a new police chief. We now officially have a new top cop for the city of Jackson. The city council officially confirming Dr. Rochelle Brackney as the city's next police chief. That final vote was 6-1, with only Councilman Ashby Foote being opposed. During yesterday's hearing, council members questioned Brackney on her policing methods and approach to leading the Jackson Police Department. Mayor John Horn proposed actually setting her salary at $150,000, which is $20,000 more than the budgeted amount. Actually, it's more than that. But her final salary was not determined at the hearing. Brackney expressed confidence in the decision, saying she's ready to get to work and called for community support.
Jackson, I am so excited. I have understood my entire life that public safety does not happen in a vacuum. It is not one single police department, not one single public safety agency that can do this work. The most important part of the equation is the community, the people that live in the community, the people that are served by this community.
She's got a lot of things, a lot of experience, she's much too well educated and too charming to be police chief in my approach, because I think it's just more of a matter of style than anything else.
Now, of course, she expects to take office officially April 1st. Brackney will become the third police chief in the city's history. Did Ted DiBiase Jr. steal your hard-earned tax dollars meant to help needy families? Well, or the other question here is, did he legitimately earn them? That is the central question in his ongoing federal trial. Our Quentin Smith was inside the courtroom yesterday and gives a shocking allegation the defense is making and why the prosecution is pushing back.
Ted DiBiase Jr. faces more than a dozen criminal charges, but his new lead defense attorney made a big allegation before the jury was brought in on day 9 of this trial. He alleges that Stephanie Palmertree, who used to work at the state auditor's office, fabricated evidence. However, prosecutors pushed back on those claims, saying that's in connection to another civil case and it's not related to this criminal case involving DiBiase. The prosecution also says the defense is mischaracterizing Palmertree's testimony. On Tuesday, the prosecution called its star witness back to the stand, John Davis. He's the former head of the Department of Human Services. He admitted to funneling the contracts to DiBiase. Davis told the court the department worked with celebrities to promote different programs and initiatives, and DiBiase was one of those celebrities. According to the defense, DiBiase did multiple TV and radio commercials for the department. He also traveled in the state and throughout the U.S., putting on leadership training programs and speaking at different events. The defense argues this shows DiBiase was performing legitimate services with the contracts he was given. Meanwhile, prosecutors continue to argue those were fraudulent contracts and that DiBiase pocketed more than $2 million. DiBiase is accused of using that money to buy luxury items such as a boat and a home in Madison County. Davis will be back on the stand again Wednesday morning. So far, there have been 9 days of testimony in this trial. Davis has been on the stand for 6 of those days. Reporting from outside the federal courthouse in Jackson, I'm Quentin Smith.
Of course, we're also continuing to follow that cyber attack for UMMC that took place a week ago today. University of Mississippi Medical Center clinics closed once again as the fallout continues from that cyber attack. There's been no comment yet from the governor's office about what happened there. Of course, that is something that we are continuing to ask about. Frankly, we haven't had really any kind of response from any state leaders to that end since this took place. The state capitol, we actually had a report at the state capitol yesterday where the chair of the House Public Health Committee told her that we have to find a way to keep something like this from happening again.
We cannot have this being hijacked especially when these people's lives are on the line. So yeah, the legislature will continue. It's not that we can really react to what's happening right now in UMC, but as far as future goes, and as we're looking at legislation on health information exchanges and how information is transferred and how important it is, the safety of that is very important as well.
House Bill 1220 would provide legal protections to government entities and businesses that follow cybersecurity best practices. If an organization can prove it was doing everything right at the time of the breach, it would have some protection against lawsuits. Well, the House Public Health Committee chair says such measures are critical to prevent future attacks. Hinds County's public defender system is in crisis, and officials are urgently seeking help. Defend Mississippi and the public defender's office are asking county supervisors for immediate funding to raise salaries and hire more staff. Assistant public defenders earn over $50,000 less than assistant prosecutors, prompting staff departures and leaving caseloads at anywhere from 1,500 to 1,600 cases per year. The addition of a Fifth Circuit courtroom has only added to that strain.
That allows them to get familiar with their cases, get familiar with their clients, have a bit more capacity, and really be able to represent people at the highest level.
The vast majority of the representation is provided through this office, and the case can't move any faster than the public defender can move. And so when you have chronic turnover in staff, it's just delaying case resolutions.
With 80 to 85% of defendants in Hinds County relying on public defenders, advocates want more or warn more funding is essential to ensure fair representation legally and keep those cases moving. Got a couple of you who've already said hi on this Wednesday afternoon. Amy saying good afternoon. Amy, hope you're doing well. Britt saying good afternoon, but also, how can you be too educated to be a police chief? That's ridiculous. She's referring to Ashby Foote, the Ward 1 councilman's comments concerning Dr. Rochelle Brackney, who was confirmed with every council person voting to confirm her except for Ashby. His reasoning being that she's too educated. Let me find the quote here so I'm not misquoting here. She's much too well educated and too charming to be police chief, in my opinion. So I don't understand what he was meaning for that. To your point, Britt, but he said it and he voted against it, but she still got confirmed. So we'll see whether or not her education is a detriment to her time in public office now that she's going to be starting in April. Linda Ormond telling us that she's watching. Linda, thank you so much for tuning in today. We are out of time though, folks. That's all the time we have for this edition of the WLBT Plus Digital News Desk Update for your Wednesday, February 25th. Again, I'm CJ LeMaster, your lead investigative reporter and your host each and every weekday. We're going to have our first alert weather team in here at 2:30 to give you a look at what's coming up for your weekend and that forecast. And our early evening newscast will start at 4 p.m. on air and online on our OTT platforms. For everyone here at WLBT, I'm CJ LeMaster. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.